Hello, beautiful Virgo friends. Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. That is me. I'm so happy to have all my Virgos in the house. I hope everyone is doing well despite what's going on globally, all that anarchy and chaos. If you are at home, unplugging, doing a little bit of chill time, let's see if we can get you some inspiring tarot messages here today. The subject matter is specifically going to be about career and finance. So if you're looking for love or something else, it might not be your video. But yeah, here on YouTube, I spin out general messages. That means not everything I say will resonate with all the Virgos out there. It is up to you, beautiful people, to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Ultimately, I ask that you only take away the messages that resonate with you, that serve you, inspire you, motivate you, confirm something you wanted to hear, or possibly illuminate you to some new idea. I come at these messages with love and positivity, so I am hoping that that is what you can take away here today. Know in advance, not every message will be yours, so feel free to drop any message that doesn't serve you. That's totally fine. That's totally normal. What else do you need to know? Everything is in the description box below for you, including the information on the decks I'm using here today, how to find me on social media, my website, etc. Yeah, as always, I ask for you to like, share, subscribe wherever you can, including on this video here. That helps me a whole lot. Helps this channel gain some traction and momentum so these messages can get out to all those people in YouTube land, and that is my goal, right? All right, so Virgos, what do Virgos need to know regarding money, career, finance, jobs, internships, retirement, whatever the collective Virgo needs to hear right now? Interesting, you do have the World and the High Priestess coming up at the bottom of your deck, as well as the Five of Swords. So two major arcana. This is the way she's throwing her hat up. It's very much like a graduation, feeling like you've completed some sort of cycle that maybe you've had to do independently. The High Priestess is like the silent woman. She's like the direct communicator with source and spirituality. There is an element of secrecy to this. So did you complete some sort of major life cycle and it's almost like secrets are coming to the surface? I don't necessarily think it's bad, but it may even be some sort of project that you've been doing without telling anybody, like a hobby or trying to set up a website or start some sort of side hustle, and now it's coming to the surface because you're ready to launch it and announce it. It actually does feel very positive, but it feels like it's something you've been working on in private. Maybe that's a good word. Something you've been working on secretly, privately, and now it's like you're ready to throw it into the air for the world to see. With the World, it's, again, the completions of a major cycle and entering into a new one. Yeah, with the Magician, you're the master manifester. You're creating. It's all about creation. So then what is this, I'm wondering? Are you having difficulty with a Taurus or with your marriage? I don't know if you're going through a divorce or there's some sort of commitment that was broken. There's some sort of, it could even be a contract that somebody sort of, like they went against what was written in word or what they agreed to. This could be with a business partner. It could also, again, be with a family member or a friend. You feel like someone turned their back on you or someone did you dirty. Someone was playing mental head games or something like that, and they weren't in a higher vibration. It feels like they sort of went against you, and by them doing that, it made you have to step up and take on the brunt of the workload, and I think you got exhausted, but you had no choice but to commit to it. It's almost like you were this far in, so the only way out was to work your way through it. But the good news is you do. There will be celebration, there will be victory, and the beginning of a new cycle, the beginning of a new start where you are happy, you are motivated, you are inspired, you are passionate. It is the Ace, and I said something similar to Leo. You may be walking away from a group of people that you currently work with to pursue something individually. God, Spirit, Universe, they are supporting you in this endeavor. So even when you meet certain obstacles or roadblocks, know that you will be able to push through with time, with energy, strength, and endurance. Yeah, you're going to erect some new structure, some new project, some new business. Again, like a corporation or whatever it is you're wanting to build, like an independent type gig too. It's going to make you happy. Your cup will runneth over, and all the challenges and obstacles that you've had to endure and struggle through and push through, you're nearing the end of it, and it's almost time to wrap out all that extra bullshit that you've been having to carry around. It feels like you're doing the brunt of the work for someone who kind of left you hanging, who strung you along, who left you high and dry. Maybe that has to do with romance and a marriage or someone you were dating and they just kind of up and left. And it seemed like for a bit it was impacting your performance at work, but you sort of have some realization or epiphany that you don't need them anymore and that you can push through on your own. And it does seem like you have people supporting you, even if it's just like a friends group. I don't necessarily think these people are involved in your workplace, but they're cheering you on the sidelines. And yeah, like you have 2 new aces coming in. So the beginning of something new, which you are passionate about. Ones can be indicative of our career, our work, and then it's going to make you happy. It's going to fill your heart with joy. It will be satisfying and emotionally fulfilling. I heard happy tears with this. Yeah, particularly with a graduation. Some of you may literally have a child who's graduating from high school or college, and it's like a new chapter. Even this, it's almost like you setting them up to go off to school, off to college, something like that. You, again, the graduation cap here, you setting them off into the world to start to build their own life and become their own person. Happy tears. That's really cute. But not only that, cups can be indicative of money flow too. If money is a currency and energy, we want that cup to runneth over. We want our bank account to be full and hearty. So yeah, this indicates there's going to be, this could be a new creative project or just a new opportunity in which you can grow and develop spiritually, but also your emotions and your bank account will be abundant, right? That's an interesting way of putting it. So interesting, Virgo. Very hopeful cards. Aside from this, which I think you're closing out the cycle because we are at a 10. 10s are like, okay, we're done. We can stop. Like the end is in sight, right? Home is just around the corner, right? This is freeing yourself from some sort of mental baggage or mental confusion with those gray clouds regarding either a person or a team of people you worked with where you feel like they double-crossed you. I think you're moving away from that because you realize they're really not offering anything to you that is of any weight or value. So I think you're just kind of like, girl, bye, like throwing it off into the wind. Like, I don't need you anymore. I can do better on my own. Yeah, somebody had just not the best intentions in working in some sort of group dynamic, and you're realizing that you're the strongest on your own. That's saying like you're only as strong as your weakest player. I think you're separating the weakest players and abandoning them, leaving them behind because again, they're dead weight. They're not doing anything for you. They're just adding to the chaos and the confusion while you're trying to accomplish this very important project or task. So you're just kind of like, yeah, just bye. See you later. Like, I don't need you in my life anymore. And again, maybe that may have to do with a marriage because this can be the card of marriage and commitments. Some of you, it's like it's been an uphill battle the whole time, but now you're recognizing you have the higher ground. So while sometimes it feels like you versus the world, you have all these wands, these obstacles coming at you, you are the victor. You do have the higher ground. Universe, God is backing you. They are supporting you in this. So stay committed to whatever thing you're still working on. Because it is going to blossom into newness and celebration and yeah, like new beginnings with abundance. All right. So your energy, you have 4 of Pentacles twice. Okay. So trying to hold on for dear life. But sometimes with this, it can indicate that you're holding on to things that you don't actually need anymore. You're holding on to them as a false sense of security. Well, I've always had it and it's mine, so why would I release it? Well, if it's dead weight, if it's enabling you to go after new opportunities because you're having to like hold down the fort or again, like kind of keeping your eye on your money. I don't know why that's coming through, but there is a need. Like sometimes we refer to this as the miser card. Sometimes, right? 4s are all about safety and stability in tarot. So with this 4, it's a safety zone regarding money. But with that, you don't have a free hand to accept the new blessings that are trying to come in. So this is saying, especially with 3 of Pentacles, there's something about the 3 people that you like or the 3 people that you trust. And maybe you are one of them, Virgo. Maybe it's you and 2 other people, whatever. This is sort of saying there's at least one in the picture that isn't helping you. It's weighing you down. So while it may feel awkward or scary to release something that you've known and someone or something that's been a constant in your whole life, by releasing what really isn't aiding you in your spiritual growth, you're actually making room for new blessings to come in. Yeah, because you're, oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. That's insane. This is the same card 3 times and it all came up in your energy. So again, something about the number 3 and the number 4. A lot of you are working on a team of 4 or with 4 people, or you might be one of them, if that makes sense. And I think one person you're ready to release, you're ready to let them go. This could indicate multiple people in different facets or areas in your life too, right? If you're going through a divorce, but you're also juggling the kids and juggling people at work, yeah, there's something you're holding on to that it's blocking your blessings. It's time to release it and set it free. Some of you may be staying in a home or in a city that by default you feel like you have to stay there, but really you're being called to move to a new city, maybe because there's some sort of career or opportunity there that you see potential in, but you're feeling sort of stuck. But I do want to say there's a false comfort zone, especially if that rings true for anyone out there about wanting or desiring to move elsewhere. You have someone showing up on a motorbike, right? Like a motorcycle or whatever. Like to get out of there. It's forward movement. The Chariot, it is a card of Cancer, but it's a card of victory and forward movement. Internally, we get this chariot, if you will, to move forward by balancing our dark and our light energies, which everybody has as a human being, right? But it can't be out of whack. It can't be out of sync. You can't be vibing high one day and low the next. There's a need for some internal balance here and kind of get your ducks in a row, get your mind, your body, your spirit, your emotions all in a good place, because that is going to usher in new change and forward movement into your life, right? There's a wheel on the Chariot. So forward progression. Here, it's not bad, but nothing will ever change here. All your hands are full. You're completely tied down. It's familiar. In a sense, it's a comfort zone. But how comfortable is it really to have to feel like you're holding on to everything for dear life? There is like a sense of doom or anxiety, and I don't think it's true, but I think it's something you've come to believe. You may have a fear of money. You may have grown up in a household where money was very tight, or there just wasn't an abundance of it. And so subconsciously, with the card of Cancer coming up, all about that subconscious, you may have feelings towards money that do invoke fear when you think about losing it or even gaining it, right? Again, subconsciously, it doesn't always make sense, but the idea of, I know what it is now. I'm sorry, that's a weird way of phrasing it. Because you are comfortable in what is familiar, no risk, no reward. That's sort of what I'm trying to say here. So you have the 4, the number 4 might be very significant in your life. It could be an address. It could be the group of people you work with. That it could be indicative of an age where something very significant happened in money. If you were a child at the age of 4, maybe you guys lost your house or lost the apartment and had to move in with grandma. Like it could be something like that. It could be the age 40, right? You know, something about the number 4. When you see that number, especially because you have 3 of them, when you see 444 on the clock, Virgo, in the coming months, that's a sign from the universe. So whatever you're doing or thinking about when you see the numbers 444 on the clock or on an address, whatever, numerology, that's a sign that you're supposed to be moving forward on something. Let's clarify that. What is this Chariot about? Some of you want to move to the city and get involved in the fashion industry, or it could even be something involving like vehicles, motor vehicles, or something to do with that, something people use in the car or use when they're, or even something about like moving. Interesting. Oh. 10 of Wands. Yeah, so you have the 10 of Wands twice. You're closing out a very difficult cycle that has required a lot of endurance and energy. Being busy around the clock or always feeling exhausted, you're coming out of that. So it's almost recognizing, are you ready to move on from that? Are you ready to welcome in blessings? And even kind of with that knife, it's like a funny little like wink to me of like, are you ready to fight for it? Like, are you ready to stand up for yourself, for your beliefs, stand firm in your convictions? Because yeah, it seems like it's time to bust free from the comfort zone. 444, that's very significant. So what is any indicator of what that 444 is? There is something calling you out from the comfort zone. Some of you, this is such a funny message, but some of you are saying, all I really need is my cat. I just need like my car and my cat, and then I can go off and it may not have to be a cat, but some sort of pet that you're very close to. They're like your companion. Interesting. Belongings, and it came out in reverse. So leaving your family behind, leaving a property behind, Some of you would work in property management or the hotel industry or rentals, retail. Something about the house being in reverse. It does involve leaving the comfort zone, the safety zone, something you've always considered home. Maybe you've lived on the East Coast your entire life, and now it's like, well, I'm really being drawn to go to the West Coast. That's sort of what this is. You may have to leave some of your personal belongings behind. And again, the false sense of security, just because this is what you've always known, doesn't mean it's going to bring you abundance and joy forever. You've reached some sort of cycle where it's like, you've graduated, right? It's time to turn the page. It's time to start the new chapter and welcome in these blessings. Even if these blessings are calling you to try something new, again, it's all about growth. Here it's stagnation. You are being asked to have faith in the divine and know that growth and change, it's trying to come into your life. Very much so. So what is your challenge? Don't block your blessings. Divine timing. And again, the wheel, it promotes progress, forward movement. Jumping in the car and going on a road trip, going new places, meeting new people. The King of Wands. Some of you are going through a divorce with a fire sign, or are needing to distance yourself from a parent, particularly if they are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Because it's something about they're causing more chaos in your life than anything else. This person is very controlling and likes to tell you what to do. I don't mean to laugh at that, but there's some metaphor about a cat. So some of my Virgos have like a cat and it's like their best friend. It's like their little baby. And there is something about you talk about your dreams and this is so funny. I'm sorry. It's just, I have to deliver it. You talk about your dreams with your pet or with your cat when it feels like you have no one else in your life to share your dreams and wishes and hopes with. It's like when you go to bed at night and you're cuddling up with your cat and giving them little head scratches. You're like, what if we moved to Paris? What if we, like, you're telling them all these hopes and dreams, and this is kind of saying, well, why aren't you doing it? I said something similar to Leo. It's like the longer you stay in this false sense of security of the safety zone, universe doesn't like this. Universe wants you to, again, grow and develop as a spiritual being. And so the longer you delay making some sort of decision to go literally anywhere, left, right, up, down, just change something in the ingredients, because right now, I'm just getting, you're not doing yourself any favors. Nothing is ever going to change. So maybe it does involve, taking some sort of risk and leaving behind everything or selling a house or moving away from a spouse or like an ex or something like that. It's almost like if you don't usher in the changes yourself and come to the realization that it's the end of a chapter, I'm meant to move on now, it's sort of like universe is saying, I'm going to do it for you, Virgo. And I don't do readings based in fear or anything like that, but the Tower is a tricky energy, but the silver lining to it, and I say it's a tricky energy because it's sort of like the shitstorm card, like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming and now my life is in disarray. This is indicating that it's coming in, and over time you will come to understand that it was a blessing, because the Tower frees us from the devil. The devil being addictions, codependency, stagnancy, a lack of spiritual growth, right? The opposite of light is dark, and darkness of the devil, right? And it exists within all of us, right? We say the devil, so we can chalk it up to being a person, but really it's when our own energy, our own internal balance gets out of whack and we're in a darker headspace. If you stay in that darker headspace for too long, metaphorically in the Tower, right, where you can't see the light of day, you can't be empowered by messages from God, from universe, right? Because you kind of got your head stuck up your ass. I'm sorry, right? But you're in a state that is not the most healthy. That's when universe ushers in the Tower, essentially to save you, to open you up, to make you realize that you've been living in an unhealthy state, right? You've been trapping yourself in this Tower where there is no growth. So when this comes in, it is to set you free. But what I'm getting here is the ball is in your court. You already have this idea. You're already saying all these wishes and dreams to your cat or your best friend. And maybe some of you, your best friend might literally be named Kat or Catherine. That's for one or two of you. Anyway. The power rests with you. You know that you can, get in your vehicle and go on a road trip or whatever. Go on that job interview. Leave something behind that it's trying to close out. It's no longer your story. Getting out of this obstacle or this maze that I think you've been kind of navigating for, maybe it's been 4 years. Have you been in a job or with a person for 4 years and you've been wanting to leave them for however long, it's like, it seems like now is the time. The challenge coming into you is accepting divine timing and fate and destiny and knowing when it is your time to step up and be the king of your career, the king of wands. Knowing when it is time to go after what makes you passionate, what makes you feel inspired, to be curious, to go and travel, right? There's such an element of wanting to travel here. So for a lot of my Virgos, maybe you're going to visit a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or a Cancer for that matter. Whether you're male or female, it is coming up as the king of career, the king of exploration, the king of passion, the king of spirituality, right? So for those who feel like you're lacking, if you're going through a crisis of faith, right? This is sort of saying you need to open yourself up to be a vessel of communication so that source can really hit you with some heavy messages that are going to help give you clarity on how to proceed forward, on what the next direction is that you should explore or discover, particularly regarding career. A lot of you have some sort of skill or talent that you want to take on the road. You may be involved in wedding planning or event planning or something about hosting large parties. You could be a DJ, you could be a decorator, something about that. But it would require you to travel at least outside of the comfort zone. And maybe that just means trying something you've never done before. Maybe you're running a business out of your own home and now it's time to step up and take it to the next step, right? You've graduated from the baby thing and now it's time to make it something bigger. But yeah, it's almost what I'm getting here is change is absolutely inevitable. So there's two ways you can take it, right? You can swan dive from this tower and realize it's time for me to fly. It's time for me to jump. It's time for me to go elsewhere. Or you can fight it kicking and screaming, right? And they might hurt. It might be more brutal that way. And this is all in metaphor, right? But it's like the tower is coming down. How are you going to deal with it, right? In a higher vibration, it's almost like by understanding, okay, this is my path. Change is coming in. I'm not meant to be here anymore. Look at it as opportunity, right? With the King of Wands, it's like, all right, let's get a game plan together. This is exciting. Now what should we do? And again, it's like you're lecturing your cat. It's really cute. Some of you need to get out of a commitment that you've made where you're just unhappy. You don't feel the same way you felt when you first got into this job or into this marriage or whatever the case may be, even into this home, right? Maybe you signed a lease and you realize I hate living here. It's too far from work. It's too far from my kids. It's whatever. You are leaving the house behind for some of you. So the help available to you is healing. With this in reverse, healing from your wounds and recognizing that those wounds aren't going to ache and hurt forever. You're welcoming in a new cycle of spiritual growth, of spiritual healing. Yeah, it's time for you to leave something behind without feelings of uncertainty, knowing that you're moving down your path, your spiritual path. This is part of your spiritual journey. And it does feel like you guys are being called to explore something that it's like it's trying to come up and out from your subconscious. A lot of you want to work in the arts and be painters or do something with, it could be scenic landscape paintings or it could literally be landscape. Again, something about like the exterior of the home or like, I don't know what that would be. Like, yeah, something about landscape. I don't know what that is, but maybe you just want to move to a more scenic place. Yeah, and it's time to leave the comfort zone because there's more abundance up ahead. Instead of looking at all the things that could go wrong or worrying that money will never quite be what it used to be, you're actually blocking your blessings. It's almost like by starting to sow the seeds now, to plant the seeds now, you're allowing them to develop into the future and create something that has longevity and legacy. But I am getting, you need to start now. Like enough with the delay, enough of talking yourself out of it, enough with settling or resigning yourself to a life where you're really not that happy. Money is okay, but it's just okay. Like it could be better. Some of you want to work in careers where it involves spiritual healing. So light workers, people who are part of the spiritual community or even religion, church, faith, spirituality, as well as healing through artwork, working with children and doing some sort of like art therapy with them. And some of you want to start this business out of your home. You want to start like an art camp or something where people come and, I don't know if it's like they drop off their kids or, I'm almost getting like a camp sort of. Like people, and it doesn't just have to be for children, but with Page of Cups, it might be. You help people to express themselves freely, to tap into their own emotions. And yeah, whatever that is, it's quite lucrative. So if there's any indecision or hesitation, I mean, I am one that again promotes growth, the growth of your being, of your spirituality. Complicated came out in reverse. And that sort of makes sense to me. It's like you guys, in general, right? Please don't make it your story if it's not. You're looking at all the things that could go wrong because, you are all about the analysis, Virgo, but you're actually not seeing all the opportunity here. You're not looking at all the things that could go right. And some of you are very scared to leave someone behind. I don't know if it's your parent or your child or your ex or your spouse. And it doesn't have to mean that you're going to leave them behind for good, especially if this involves going on a business trip or going on some sort of trip where you may be away for weeks at a time or months at a time. This is saying like your people are going to support you because they know that you're doing work that you love. And so why wouldn't they want to support you? As long as, if it's your kids, as long as they're taken care of, you don't need to feel awkward or guilty about leaving them because, again, it's like universe is trying to usher in these beautiful blessings. It's divine timing. It's destiny for you to go off to do this thing or create this thing that you care so much about. My neighbor's looking through the window, totally judging me right now. You don't need to make it so complicated. It's actually quite easy. When you raise your vibration and just get down to the bare essentials, the bare basics of what it is that I want to accomplish. Okay, game plan. How am I going to accomplish that then? Start small, right? You don't have to pick up and move your life across the country tomorrow. But if you know that that's sort of in the cards of what you want to do, why wouldn't you want to start planning it today so that you can make strides to accomplish that sooner than later? Yeah, wrapping your head around the idea of this change is coming in. So again, do I take it like a shitstorm or can I do it in stride, to do it gracefully, right? To swan dive from something that maybe I didn't anticipate it closing out as fast as it is, but again, take it as a blessing. It's a sign from the universe that you're meant to find something more creative, more passionate, more desirable. Something that makes your heart sing, something that gets you excited, Virgo. And I do think a lot of you want to help people. You're looking at, very spiritual careers, teachers, light workers, entertainers even, bringing joy to other people's lives through arts and entertainment. Yeah, so this is the final advice or guidance is quite clearly make a decision. The Hangman is all about delays and rest. He makes that 4, that upside down 4 with his legs. And we know you got a lot of 4s in your life, Virgo, right? Again, 4s are comfort zones, they're safety zones, and there's nothing wrong with that unless we're staying in that comfort zone well past its expiration date. This is saying to me, you're in the state or mode of processing everything going on around you. But ultimately, the Hangman goes into the Death card. And the Death card is a beautiful card. It's all about transitioning from one cycle to the next and recognizing, this was my story, this was the book I'm writing, but it's time to start a new chapter. And recycle whatever it is that I don't need anymore, and leave behind what I don't, to cut out what is weighing me down, right? All this bullshit potentially with an ex that you're dealing with, it's time to leave that behind once and for all because it's like making you emotionally constipated. You're so stuck on the past of things that didn't work out or of things that aren't satisfying you anymore. Again, the 4 of Cups, right? Another 4. New blessings, new opportunities. That Ace of Cups that's trying to come in, there it is. It's right there. And I think subconsciously you already know that. You've already done the groundwork to start creating this for yourself. Now it's about going towards it, making the choice, the decision. That's what the Lover's card is. It's a decision to go off and venture into the unknown, right? To go off and form a business partnership with that person that you've been talking to or whatever it is. The Queen of decision-making, swords, ideas, thoughts, communication. It could be signing a contract. It is all about internal balance with Libra ruling the scales of the zodiac, right? As is this, the dark and the light energies within us. When you are internally balanced, you are more like mentally prepped to make informed, logical decisions. So yeah, there is something here where it feels unrestful. Again, another 4, another comfort zone, Virgo. And I don't say that in a condescending way. Just it's funny because your spread is bombarded with 4s. It's almost like this delay of let me decide, let me make up my mind. It's well past its expiration date. It's time to actually move forward with a decision. And here's the thing with 4s. 4s go from the safety zone to 5s, and 5s are scary, right? 5s are all about agents of change and chaos and upheaval. Very much like a tower vibe, right? And yeah, it's funny. Something about 555 is card 15, and 15 is the devil. So that is, it's sort of what I'm saying. It's breaking free from the devil. Anyway, I digress. When you go from a 4, it's inevitable that things are going to be shaken up. Things are going to be changed up, and there might be a little conflict or chaos, but you will work through it, Virgo, because you're on your way to bigger and better things. If you knew all the answers already, you would have made this change months ago, years ago, ages ago, right? But there's something about it gives you mental unrest. It creates confusion or cloudiness when you don't have all the details and data in front of you. And I'm just getting, you won't. This is going to take a leap of faith, but knowing that if your heart is in doing this work, if this is work that you could do around the clock and you're still feeling excited about it, that's a pretty good indicator that it's something that you are supposed to go towards. The universe wants us to do work that makes us happy, that brings us joy, that makes us feel like we are, making progress and contributing things positively on this spiritual journey. So it's like by getting out of the comfort zone, you're so worried, again, as I was saying, what could go wrong? You're not looking at what could go right. So you have the 4 of Pentacles 3 times. The only thing we're missing here is the 4 of Wands. Interesting. And so the 4 of Wands is solid foundations, stability. So it's almost like you're afraid to leave that behind. You're afraid to leave the stability behind. What you don't recognize is, though, there's money to be made. When you balance yourself out and sign a new contract or go to work with that new Libra or Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, there's money to be made there. And boom, there's your Chariot card again. There's victory. You're starting a new foundation that you're trying to build. You just have to break yourself out of the comfort zone, because once you do, what's under that? Beautiful. 10 of Cups. Yeah, it's time to make that very important judgment call. Are you ready to graduate from this chapter in your life? Are you ready to welcome, death, transition, change, regeneration, rebirth? A lot of you are trying to go in a new direction, and you're just lacking the self-confidence that you'll be able to do it on your own, that you'll be able to fund the project, that you'll be able to find the right employees to work with. Yeah, there is a sense of just needing to recognize that you can manifest anything that you want. You have the tools on your table. You have the Magician twice. This is your energy, Virgo, right? Awesome. So what's under that, being the master manifester, all the tools on your table to create the destiny or the dream career, right, is 10 of Pentacles. There's value in recognizing that you were always meant to be your own boss. Emperor mode. Be the emperor, Virgo. All right, let's throw you a universe card and we'll wrap it up. Yeah, you're going to have to go off into the unknown, and it's not always going to be easy, but you have to remember, spirit has your back. Whatever obstacles and hardships are thrown at you, you will power through. You will overcome. You are the warrior. You are the Chariot, right? Internal balance. This card says, when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. Yeah, to me, that's like taking a leap of faith and blowing on that dandelion, sending off your wishes and dreams into the world, not just talking about it with your cat, but actually putting it out into the world, right? And then this says, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. And this is a card of peace and rest and relaxation. It's actually saying it's time to shake it up. It's time to get your energy back up because, it's stagnation. It's going sour, right? When the energy, when the love, when the passion and creativity isn't flowing anymore, it's stagnant. Spiritual growth halts with that too. All right, Virgo, that's what I got for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if any of this resonates, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.